Here now, former Director of Special Operations, the DEA, our good friend, Derek Maltz, continuing his message to these celebrities. Derek, it's a great idea. I hope we can get their attention. You've got friends in high places from your days in the DEA. Any luck at getting through to Mr. Mahomes, the amazing quarterback, through Taylor Swift, any of these celebs to say, hey, come Super Bowl time, how about you put out a little video instead of you canoodling or smooching in the corner or pitching some product you're going to make a few $1,000,000 on, you just say, kids, don't log on and buy pills on social media. Adults, don't take or drink or a pill or anything that you don't know where it came from your doctor. Like a quick little 30-second video. It wouldn't hurt them, would it?
So, Dan, thanks a lot for having me. This is something that I've been talking about now for a year or two, because I realized that the kids today are not watching mainstream media, cable news. They're not listening to podcasts or watching congressional testimony, but they are watching social media reels, videos all day long on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. So Taylor Swift has like 300 million followers. If she puts out one message about the devastating news out of Kansas City over the past month, that would generate a lot of interest. Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, these guys are superstars. I don't understand it. Like Joe Biden had a chance to speak at a pregame, interview for the Super Bowl. He could have put out a message. Why is it that nobody wants to talk about this important life-saving message? Everyone's being deceived to death, Dan. I guarantee you these guys didn't go to their friend's house to die. They went there to have a party. They didn't know there was going to be fentanyl mixed in with the cocaine. Unfortunately, that's happening all over the country. It's not unique to just Kansas City. And that's why when I testified last time at the Homeland Security Committee, I attached 70 pages of mass poisoning similar to this in Kansas City, where multiple people died in one spot, just so we could get the message out. This is really devastating.
Yeah. Well, Derek, if you didn't hear from folks on the left, this is just a overblown small crisis. I've heard literally Democrats and other liberal lawmakers, along with TV talk show hosts and pundits on CNN, definitely MSNBC, say that the border crisis as a whole, the human trafficking, and the drug crisis are all being blown up for politics because it's an election year and Republicans want to make Democrats look bad, so Republicans are blowing this crisis up. Now, Derek, you worked in the DEA for years. You worked for either side of the aisle because you didn't care. Drugs kill both left and right. So would you please inform the folks that think this is a Republic talking point that it's not a Republican issue, it's an American crisis, and yes, it is a crisis.
Yeah, so my talking point is that this is not a red or a blue issue. It's a red, white, and blue issue. Every American should care because these fentanyl pills are not, or this fentanyl powder is not discriminating. Just like now we have China sending nitazene, isonitazene, metanitazene, protonitazene. These are way more powerful synthetic opioids. So not only are we being invaded at record levels with the Chinese nationals, but now they're killing at record levels with the poisonous substances that are coming out of the labs in China. It's unfortunate that people are politicizing this, but parents, about 300 a day, are getting the word that their loved one is dead. So we've never seen anything like this. Dan, I've been in DEA 28 years. My father was 30 years in DEA. And this messaging out there in the country, like out in Oregon, they just declared a 90-day state of emergency in response to the ongoing public health and public safety matter driven by fentanyl.
I saw that.
The president should be declaring a national security emergency, public health emergency, because we've never seen anything like this, Dan. This isn't the same opioid addiction issue. This is poisoning of our citizens at record levels.
Yeah, because look, when other people have OD'd, it's because they took more than they thought they were taking, or maybe something was a little stronger. This stuff kills you with a couple granules, and I don't think people mean to take it. I'm sure there's some hardcore drug users out there that know they're taking fentanyl and want to try it for that crazy, amazing high and to see if they can ride it right before they die. But the majority of deaths, I would say, and you'll know better than I, 99% of these deaths were accidental. People didn't know they were getting fentanyl and it killed them.
Right. No, Dan, you're spot on. And this is one of my topics that I talk about a lot. I mean, these kids are being, like we say, deceived to death because they have no idea. The mental illness, anxiety, and depression is so high these days in America. these kids are turning to these drugs they think are legitimate drugs, and they're dying. They think they're going to be helped by Xanax or Adderall or, whatever it is, Percocet. But unfortunately, it's poisonous substances in these fake pills.
Right.
And it's not just the pills. We have it in cocaine. We see it in meth. There's even been cases where it's in marijuana. So it's a disaster.
They're lacing it or cutting it or adding it to it and not telling the potential buyer because it's stepping in their other product. And as a drug dealer wants to do, stretch their product further. So they cut it and use a little fentanyl, and they've got more cocaine left over to make more little 8 balls to sell to their junkies. And the people buying it have no freaking clue that there's enough fentanyl in their little 8 ball of coke that when 3 big burly football guys take it, they're dead, frozen stiff in a front yard. Last thing I want to talk to you about, Derek, I want you to really hammer this home. They're getting these off of social media, the kids. For adults, come on, you guys, common sense, don't be taking crap you don't know where it came from. But for the kids, it's coming from TikTok and social media. And whether it's a friend saying, here, I got a pill you can buy off me for $10, or it's the bad guys acting as younger people and selling them to them on TikTok and Instagram, right? That's where parents got to get involved and pay a damn attention to what the kids are doing on social media, because that's where they're getting the pills probably, 80, 90% of the time?
Right. So parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts, nieces, nephews are out there, and your kids are out there ordering this stuff online, and the cartels are taking advantage. But here's the sad part. The social media companies in America are enhancing the ability for China, really, to kill our citizens. The cartels are making the money. China's sitting back watching our citizens die, destabilizing the country and our own social media companies because it's all about the money. And by the way, there's many families now, as you know, out there in your area that are suing Snapchat as an example. There's been significant progress. Families that I work with out there are very excited about the idea of Snapchat being held accountable. I'm not as optimistic, to be honest, but I hope that they are being held accountable. I hope that they shut down these algorithms that are targeting the kids. And not only on the drugs, Dan, but sextortion is off the charts with these kids.
Yes.
15 years old.
We just talked about it last
messages.
week with Jaco Boyens. I mean, and I don't have time to get into it, but folks know I'm so adamant about pushing back on that crap too. They're using social media to stalk your kids and then kidnap them and put them into a life of slavery, whether it's slave labor or sex trafficking. So parents can't, I know you want your 15, 16, 17-year-old to feel like they're almost an adult and you want to give them their freedom and they yell at you, Mom, Dad, got privacy, privacy. Guess what? Do you want them dead or sex trafficked? Pay attention, take the damn phone, put the parental guidelines on it, check what they're looking at, and talk to them about this stuff. Derek Maltz, former Director of Special Operations over at the DEA, always sending an amazing message out there to try and keep this damn drug off our streets. It ain't easy with a wide open border. Thank you, Derek. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Dan. Have a great day, buddy.
You too. God bless you.